You're watching India Today Global. This is a major global story that we are talking about, and it is going to be the biggest story that is going to follow through till November. We're talking about the US elections and primarily the assassination attempt on former US President Donald Trump. This is the big news. This is the news that is now going to be talked about for a very long time. So, what really happened? Let's just put that scenario out for you, and then we'll talk about what really happened in terms of reactions, but also political prospects. This was a major moment. It is a pivoting point, really, for the Republicans over here. On the 13th of July, former President Trump, Donald Trump, was holding a rally and was making an impassioned speech when he felt something in his ear, and there were sounds of shots that were being fired, although they were quite muzzled, the sounds, they were not loud sounds, and immediately he ducked, knowing that something has hit him. And then the Secret Service went on him and tried to protect him. The situation was tense, we know, because there was gunfire shots that were shot. Unfortunately, one person died in that entire incident. But in that, the Secret Service now trying to find an exit for the president. The commandos had come onto the stage. They were looking at and finding the person who basically was shooting. And then after a while, Donald Trump gets up, looks for his shoes, which must have come off while he jumped, ducked, and then was taken off the stage. But before getting off the stage, what did he do? Now, this is an image that is going to stay for a long time to come. His fist up. He did use some expletives before really realizing and understanding that what he needs to do politically. This was a political message. He realized he is not severely hurt, and so he made it a point to do that fist and talk and call for America again before getting off the stage. Now that's important political messaging for somebody with the presence of mind. Now we'll talk about presence of mind, we'll talk about the comparison later, but that's what happened. And now, what we're getting and the information that we're getting is that the FBI has indeed put out a statement. The FBI, in its statement, has come out and identified the man behind the shooting. He's been identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years old, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, and as involved in the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now, it also goes on to say that this remains an active and ongoing investigation, and anyone with information that may assist with the investigation is encouraged to submit to submit photos or videos online. So that's the messaging that has come about, and that's the kind of investigations that we would be looking at because it's important. He is the former president of the United States of America. One will have to go through and see what are the details when it comes to the motive behind this entire attack. But yes, this is going to also be a very important statement when it comes to the political statement and messaging that we're looking at. Let's talk, before I go ahead, let's just listen into what the FBI special agent in charge of Pittsburgh has had to say, Kevin Royek.
I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
The single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved. At this time, we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. And
well, that was the FBI special agent. Now, this is going to become a major, major deal. What are the Republicans going to do, apart from the fact that Donald Trump had the presence of mind? He knew exactly what he had to do. That photograph of him with the American flag behind him, with the blood coming out of his ears, and you can see it on his face, the fist, and that look of defiance. That picture is going to be a picture that will be a long-lasting image, and will be an image that we will see through the US elections. This campaign has just got way more interesting than we thought it would. The fact that he's not hurt, unfortunately, there has been somebody in the crowd who was killed, but the fact that he's not hurt is going to be something that the Republicans are now going to capitalize and rally behind Donald Trump. We've had some Republican voices too who've not been very happy with the fact that he is the presidential nominee, but now in times such as this, you see everyone follows the leader and they rally behind the leader. So we will see a massive consolidation in the Trump camp. But what happens on the other side? We've seen reactions come in from the administration. We will have to see whether protocols were followed or not. There were no bulletproof shields that the security personnel were holding. When a leader, very important leader, or a leader against whom we also have to know whether there was any threat against Donald Trump. But given that it's election season, it's a polarized country, polarized society, it goes without saying that there must have been some threats against Donald Trump as well. So in such a scenario, when you see a tall leader, and you must have seen this, to our viewers, you see this when a very important leader is walking, you see men walk around him him or her with suitcases, right? And those suitcases are not suitcases per se. If there is a threat perception and they think that the leader is going to be under threat, that entire suitcase opens up to a shield, and that bulletproof shield is then held together to form an entire shield around the leader. In this scenario, in this case, there were no bulletproof shields. The security personnel jumped on Donald Trump and then created a human shield around him, although, in parts you can see that his face is exposed, and that certainly should be a scare. And that's how he was taken off stage and led out. So that, again, protocols, security, was enough provided? These would be questions that would have to be answered. But before that, let's just listen into what President Biden had to say after this attack, or this attempt.
To get a hold of Donald, he's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so, I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including.
Now we do have some visuals from the place where the entire shooting took place. We do not have identity of the shooter, but there are some visuals that are doing the rounds, although FBI officially has not put out anything. So we'll have to wait and see how really that pans out. Having said that, this brings us to a larger question on reactions that have come in from various parties and various leaders of the world. And that begins with, let's talk about India. Prime Minister Modi himself a reaction from Prime Minister Modi coming in, talking about the seriousness of this and violence during elections, something that is not absolutely unknown in India. We do know that leaders do not condone, but we have in India also seen massive during political campaigns, things get out of hand, and no violence should be tolerated. So over here, leaders coming out and reacting, apart from the domestic leadership coming out and expressing serious concerns, and then Prime Minister Modi expressing concerns with regard to violence during elections. We have the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who came out and reacted to this. And then we have the Italian Prime Minister Meloni, who also came out and reacted to this entire incident, followed by Netanyahu, the current and the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer, John Kennedy, Mike Johnson, Nikki Haley, Ivanka Trump. Some from outside, many from within the United States of America. Of course, Ivanka Trump, the daughter of Donald Trump, must have been quite concerned and worried about the entire incident and the situation. But there are reports that are coming in. I cannot confirm that, but the reports also suggest that his son, the youngest son, was also there in the when that entire rally was taking place. That certainly will be a matter of massive concern for the Trump camp, in terms of how the family is going to look at it, how the family is going to react to it. Strong reactions that have come in from various quarters, particularly from the family. It is going to be important to see whether if this is going to take a massive political turn in terms of how they're going to question security preparedness and preparation for Donald Trump. That certainly is going to be important. But beyond that, if you look at the bigger and the larger picture now, the politics of it, look at the conversations that are taking place right now. There are two streams of conversation that we're looking at. One is the fact that this has happened, and a lot of conversation now doing the rounds on this was Donald Trump. The moment he felt something hit or graze his ear, he immediately ducked. Should this have been the incumbent? Should this have been President Biden? Would he have reacted as swiftly as Donald Trump? Now that's a question, which brings us to a larger point: whether if President Biden would be able to handle a situation such as this, would he have been as swift as this? Because that would have been a massive disaster. So would this. If it would not have been his ear and anywhere close to his face, it would have meant a severe injury or maybe more. And if this was an attempt which would have ended successful, then we would have looked at a political scenario in the United States of America, which would have gone completely out of control. But the conversation over here is not about what would have happened should he have been assassinated. Although, yes, there was an entire trail of conversation amongst the Republican Party, Republican supporters, media persons, particularly journalists like Tucker Carlson, who actually had spoken of this long ago, and that's also doing the rounds, saying that that he's been denied so much that it is almost, and the way he's been persecuted is almost like, what next? And could this lead to now, if Donald Trump is unstoppable despite and in spite of all the things that have happened, will there be an attempt to assassinate him? Now there is no motive. We're not saying, nobody has said that there is anyone involved in the larger political structure of the country, where when it comes to this incident. But there have been conversations, is all I'm saying. And that leads a lot of them to believe whether if former President Donald Trump right now with this how he's going to turn this incident around to his advantage. And it is going to be a huge advantage. The photos, the visuals, the fact that it was a failed attempt, the fact that it was so close, and it was indeed very close. The other strain, of course, is about whether if Biden could have handled it or not. But also now the bigger picture here in the Democratic Party, not just about the fact that whether President Biden could have handled it, whether Biden now can handle this pressure, this massive polarization that you'll see, whether they can handle that. Also, more importantly, whether if President Biden is fit enough, not just physically, which certainly would have been a real scenario of a real scenario where we'd be looking at whether if President Biden would have actually ducked or not, would he have taken the precautions or not, would he have been as swift as President Trump has been or not. That aside, there's an entire conversation on whether if he is mentally fit to govern again, to stand for elections, to fight the elections, to hold his own in a presidential debate, and we will be seeing a few more of those. And then forward from that, if you just go a little further, then whether, if at all, he returns to power, if he can govern or not. So all that would depend on a very important day. That would be the 19th of August, when the Democratic National Convention will be held. And in that convention, whether if it's going to be a closed convention, if it's a closed convention, there and Biden decides to not run for president, then it would be Kamala Harris. They will have to open the convention, and that has only happened very rarely in U.S. politics, to have an open convention, for them to have more candidates come in. And at that juncture, in August, it's already too late in US politics then to rally everybody behind one leader. So the Democrats look like they're in a very, very difficult position. We'll have to wait and see how this really pans out. But certainly this incident of the 13th of July is not looking good. It's not looking good for the security apparatus. It's not looking good for the administration that provides the security. It certainly is not looking good for the Democrats, where Biden is running for president. And it certainly is going to be an incident that is going to be a turning point. It could be that moment for Trump to ensure that he gets the support and has people rally behind him. What happens next, we'll have to wait and see. But these are details that are coming in. The world has reacted, the country has reacted, and this is something that is going to really blow up. It's going to be something that is not going to be, that we'll not be seeing die down anytime soon. Given that it's Donald Trump, expect more news coming from him. America is waking up. It's only waking up now, so we'll have to see what is going to happen through the day in America, in these politics, the heated campaigns that we are seeing. And we also need to get a report on how Donald Trump is doing. All that and more, we'll keep updating you here on India Today Global on what's happening in the United States of America and in the race for the White House. Thank you for watching.